Hey, what's up, guys? How's it going? So, today I just thought I'd go over Carnival of Fortune, which basically you just do a bunch of quests during it. Most of it's pretty straightforward, though. Like, you're just going around basically hitting Gigantos to mutants, what have you. And there's not really a whole lot to it. But the main thing with this event is that once you've gotten through, a lot of the rewards you'll get for free is worth it. Um, of course, you got all the way up until day 5. So you got quite a ways before. There's a stupid amount of loot and everything that you get during this. Everything from log in. There's just a bunch of missions and stuff that you can do for Carnival of Fortune. Of course, they have the Lucky Egg surprise event, which, basically you can get some loot out of that. And then they've got a battle pass for it as well. Good figure. Get basically as much as the free loot as you can. I'll just go ahead and use the rest of it. And then I got Extravaganza. And of course, they've got loot on top of that loot. So the thing about this game is this game has so many loot-based systems that you can actually play this mildly free without actually having to spend. It's kind of funny. I've been playing it casually for a while, but there's obviously ample opportunities to get ahead too. But as you can kind of tell, there's a stupid amount of loot here that it's kind of ridiculous. Of course, you have the mine, which if you're doing mine, silver, and then gold, you can get it higher up in the rankings if you're doing mines and such. But here, we'll just go ahead and basically replay that animation on standby here. Let's go ahead and grab all the loot. And okay. And so there's a little bit of loot. And one thing we got out of that, though, that is kind of nice is the ticket. So we can go back and do... which one is it? I forget which one it is. Maybe it's... I think it's this one. Here, this one. So we can do our quick draw here. Yeah, so we got some loot. So, it kind of works out. And then, of course, you got, the supremacy. And there's all that. Of course, you get wishes, which then you can dump into whichever. You just donate, basically, whichever resources you so choose. Then, of course, you can donate many batteries or coins as you wish. I'm never too big into that. And then, of course, then you've got the individual gear pieces and such that you can work on for your specific troop types if you'd like. There's Lucky Streak, so, of course, they got the Scorpion, which is kind of neat. Let's see if we get lucky here. Okay, we got a fragment. That's fine. We'll get our, a little bit of loot there. Of course, they got Fortress Race. As you can tell, like I said, there's just a lot of events that you can do. There's so goddamn many of them. What? There's just a lot. And it's almost too much. It's almost overwhelming, to say the least, actually. But, it kind of gives you an idea of just all the stuff that they've got in this game. Now, of course, I don't know, they've got nanomaterials. They've got, everything from legendary pieces and such. And this is just, the gear. It's kind of interesting how, it's you basically have gear for, in this game, it's both, kind of like a layered system in a way. And I've noticed that, not all of these games are kind of, universal in the way that they approach it. Some of them are oh yeah, we'll give you expedition gear, and that'll give you upgrades to just your hero. And then some games are oh no, it opens everything, and over and across, and it, it helps in PvP, but it also helps in PvE. And, it's I've seen some blends of these over the period of time that I've played, but the thing that gets me is this, okay. Alright, I was kind of ranting a little bit about it, right? But what I'm trying to get at here is, right, you have the individual skills, then you have, their talent skill, then you have the equipment for said, hero, right? And then to add the cherry on top, it doesn't stop there. You've also got gear for your individual troop type, because you'll get to tier 3 and then they have gear. So there's like a layered amount of stuff going on there. Of course, it's like here, I'll go ahead and grab that. And so let's see here. We're almost there. So we might as well go ahead and do our full unlock. Why not? So here we go. All right. Still not bad. Nope. Okay, we got Remy. Laurent. 20k fighter XPs. Dempsey. Laurent again. Bono. Okay, we got Genesis and Len. Okay, ooh, hey, look at this. We got Bono, looks like. Okay, we got Bono Boom. And some more gene potions. Oh, we got Topi, cool. And okay, and then we got another 10 medals for Bono Boom. So Bono Boom's going to be very, very well maxed out, which is good. Laurent's really good for like, if you're like wanting to get gathering bits and pieces. But again, the idea behind that is just to hold up to 100, and then like so you can kind of see how I played that. It's just basically do it all at once, and then you win basically. It's kind of how this works. The idea is to save in this game. It's not to spend. Like a lot of games in mobile in particular, it's like that's the general rule of thumb if you're going to play it anyway. Especially if you don't plan to spend very much, if any at all. Is the key is save everything. And don't spend any of it willy-nilly. Have a plan. That's my key bit of advice here. But again, just like anything, I'm only VIP 5 though. And the thing that's nice about being in the number 1 alliance in the entire state, basically, is that I don't have to necessarily have to worry about anybody fighting me individually where I'm at, but I do have to worry about during like the KVKs. That's when people will go out of their way to like try to screw with me. So okay, we gotta do our warehouse, so we're gonna go ahead and get that started. And again, we're burning quite a bit of bagged resources now as we're getting up there in the levels. And so we'll eventually get to a point where we really need to gather. Okay, I'm gonna hit skip. I don't want to listen. I don't wanna. I don't care. It's like I don't care. I know there's crap I can do, but I don't want to do it. I just want to do my supermarkets and my junkyards, damn it. Alright, so here we go. Alright, so we'll go ahead and do our supermarket and our junkyard here. I mean, the point of that is just so you have resources. I mean, you basically need to gather. Just gotta find one that nobody else is trying to grab. And try to gather as much of what you can possible. So here I'm like having to compete for crap, but oh well. Oh shit, I might end up having to fight for that too, but you know what, so be it. You know what, just screw it. Anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and grab our extra stuff. I mean, you might as well, right? But as far as Age of Apes goes, this has kind of been the day-to-day, right? You might be wondering, like how's the gang doing, right, or the alliance? And they're doing pretty good. Like we're up to 1.2 billion in power. Gang of level 11. They got 118 out of 120 members. Some of the top players are like 24 to 30 mil. It's not like any of these guys have probably dumped a stupid amount of money. I'd say one of the bigger players that we have is Dams. But again, it's like they're just a kind of a fair group. It's not like anybody's too crazy in any one thing. Obviously, when you compare me to them, yeah, I'm freaking tiny. I'm a small person in the group, kind of tiny and not insignificant, but that's okay. I still do my part. I add to the gang donations, and that's if you want to stay in a guild, that's how you stay in a guild, guys. You contribute. That's what makes the difference. And of course, there are other competing gangs as well, right? But the other thing I've been doing is I've been actually saving like a crazy amount. So like if, for example, I'll show you. So like compared to like I don't know Yeah, I guess I could probably set auto join here too. Might as well. But because again, you want to try and get as much of that loot as you can. I would say outside of all of what I've done so far. Shoot, let me see here. I don't want to mess with any of that. Yeah, I mean, there's really not a whole lot more I can really poke with other than get the rest of my loot. But yeah, I mean, that's really about all you do in this game nowadays. Basically, gather, rinse, repeat. You know, and that's kind of the the whole plot cycle. But the nice thing is that eventually you'll have your KVKs and such, so you kind of just build up. And of course, it's like the different types of castle skins that they have in the game. And I call them castle skins, but they're technically city hall skins if you're in relation to this game, right? But yeah, this will give you kind of an idea of what the game has to offer as far as the cosmetics go. And they've got some okay looking cosmetics. I mean, they're not bad. I mean, they've got some pretty cool looking things. Like they've got the spaceship, rocket hall, They got, the swimming pool skin, the champion fortress, gingerbread cottage, fantasyland, machine fortress. They have a pumpkin skin castle. They've got a turkey. They have the flaming heart, the romantic hideaway. They've got the joyous union. I mean, I can go on. It's just like that's the nice thing about these games is you can kind of get a feel for like how their cosmetics have evolved over the several years that they've been around. A lot of people don't really care, but it's just it's one of those things that I always thought was kind of cool. Because it can give you kind of an idea of what's out there. And of course, then they have the frames, the individual frames that you can change your cosmetics to. Which, I mean, out of all of these, I would say this one's one of the better ones. Of course, then they also have like the trails, different trail effects and stuff. Which, I mean, I would say out of all of these, the ones that I think are probably the most interesting are going to be like the dragon. Yeah, then they have the Easter one. This one with the ghosts is pretty badass. Then of course they have like this, which is kind of like a leaf flower thing. They've got rainbows. They've got fire, and yeah,